man, so the YSL lawyers were not playing with Petty Fani. They were not playing with Petty Fani as they tried to go ahead and put in the most pettiest, stupidest petition to revoke Young Thug's probation. After hearing the response from Brian Steele, after Fani Willis alleged that Young Thug was using gang activity and evoking a response from people to go ahead and send threats to DA Vivaretto and all that shit. After all that stuff, Judge Whitaker said, get this shit out of my face. Young Thug would not be going back to jail, okay? He's not going back to jail. This is what it says right here. Upon consideration of state's April 2nd, 2025 motion to revoke defendant's probation, which alleged a violation of the terms and conditions of defendant's probation for having posted a picture of a particular law enforcement officer with the caption, biggest liar in the DA office, and defendant's April 3rd, 2025 response thereto, and having reviewed the terms and conditions of defendant's probation imposed by this court, the court declines to revoke defendant's probation based on the violation asserted. Judge Whitaker said, get this out my goddamn face, okay? Now I had coverage that I was getting ready to post, but here goes everything that leads to this point right here. Peep this real quick. The Fulton County DA office, they've been petty as hell and they trying their best to get Young Thug thrown back into jail. So what happened yesterday, Young Thug was reacting to the Fulton County DA, Marissa Vivaretto, as she was trying to slowly build this case against Lil Baby within the courtroom. We talked about it already. You guys can go back and see my coverage of that situation, but while that was going on, Young Thug said that she's the biggest liar in the DA office. So in reaction to that, the state filed a motion to revoke Young Thug's probation. And they saying that she was doxxed as far as her parents' address, her home address, and people were saying things online like, if the hate is really real, then pull up on the mama crib. And they also saying that DA Fani Willis received some threats as well. Now in response, Young Thug put this right here. I don't make threats to people. I'm a good person. I will never condone anyone threatening anyone or definitely participate in threatening anyone. I'm all about peace and love. But Fani's so petty. Fani's so goddamn petty. She called the news and did an immediate conversation. Peep this right here.
District Attorney Fani Willis.
What our motion is concerned about is that we certainly believe that his post was to threaten law enforcement, which is all part of gang activity.
Jeffrey Williams' attorney Brian Steele told me by phone it is never appropriate to be engaged in any type of witness intimidation. It is never appropriate to threaten to murder another person. The prosecution's motion to revoke Jeffrey's probation should not be well received and should be swiftly rejected. It is irresponsible to file a motion of this sort when Jeffrey has done absolutely nothing, Steele said, to violate any condition of probation or threaten a witness.
We know that it is clear to Mr. Williams that the intent of the district attorney is to stop gang activity in Fulton County, Georgia. We believe the judge's order is clear. And that this is an intentional violation.
Now the YSL lawyers ain't liking this shit. They are speaking out. We got Douglas Weinstein speaking, and also Brian Steele filed a response like crazy in rapid time. But first, let's see what Douglas Weinstein has to say. He represented Yak Gotti in the case, okay?
I don't mean to keep pounding on this borderline frivolous petition to revoke bond that Adam Abate and Simone Hilton have filed against Jeffrey Williams, Young Thug. But, well, maybe I do. Maybe I do. So let's keep pounding on it. And I've said this before. Prosecutors have special responsibilities under the rules of conduct, and those that have been adopted by Georgia. So let's look at one of the special responsibilities of a prosecutor. And it's right up here. The prosecutor in a criminal case shall refrain from prosecuting a charge that the prosecutor knows is not supported by probable cause. Now, one could argue whether this is a charge, it's a petition to revoke, but certainly it is in that same league. It's within the spirit of the rule that you don't go after somebody if there's not probable cause. Where is the probable cause in this petition? I don't see it anywhere. Again, it is a petition that's been filed with no citation to case law, alleging that somehow Jeffrey Williams' criticism of a public official amounts to an event that requires revocation under the Georgia law, based on what other people said, not at all based on what Jeffrey said. And it is just ridiculous. Let's expound upon this for just a moment. This is the comment section of our Georgia rule, okay? And again, I think this is so important. A prosecutor has the responsibility of a minister of justice, and not simply that of an advocate. In other words, if you're not a prosecutor, if you're an attorney, you can zealously advocate and not be as concerned with the issue of justice. You can be a zealous advocate for your client. Prosecutors cannot do that. They have incredible power. Okay? Incredible power. What does Spider-Man say? With great power comes great responsibility. I guess Spider-Man lifted that from our model rules. But, look, this petition is borderline frivolous, and one could even say horseshit. And as prosecutors, it should never have been filed.
Because they're being petty. I guess they're saying since they have the responsibility of a minister of justice and not simply that of an advocate, they can't be petty and move based off of emotion. And, you know, that's like including reaching to go ahead and get this probation revoked. They have to have some type of integrity when it comes to that because of the position that they're in with the power that they have. But okay, let's get to Brian Steele's response. So shout out to Thugger Deli for getting this paperwork right here, but let's go through a bit of this response. So on the first page, Brian Steele basically says that it's nothing specifically that they can say that Young Thug did himself that can cause for his probation to be revoked. And they continue to say that they must have evidence to prove that he violated the term of his probation in a specific manner charged in the motion to revoke probation. So in this portion right here, they're saying that the blogger that posted the video of Vivaretto speaking at the little baby situation, they saying that that blogger already showed Vivaretto. So basically Vivaretto was going to be seen anyway. And even if blogger didn't violate by showing Vivaretto because Vivaretto wasn't testifying at the point that she was shown. And that's what Brian Steele is saying. So Brian Steele continues to say that all Jeffrey did was just post what the blogger already posted, just amplifying what was already out there. Now, he had no idea that there was any type of direction to not show Vivaretto while testifying. He continued to say him just saying that she's a liar in a caption is not a violation of his probation. In this section right here, they're talking about the post going viral. He's saying that, listen, the post can go viral and people can start reacting to the woman, but you can't go ahead and pin anything that they're saying onto my client like he's responsible for what people are saying, especially when he isn't the person that initially posted the woman in the first place. That is not a violation of his probation. In this section right here, he goes and refutes a direct threat saying that you cannot allege any action to Mr. Williams to support any violation of the probation. And then here he talks about the prosecutor alleging a calculated campaign of intimidation, harassment, misinformation designed to undermine the legal process, and other baseless assertions. And once again, there's no evidence to support that to violate the probation. So the remainder of the state's motion to revoke probation is an argument without any substance to allege an illegal or unlawful act conducted by Mr. Williams. And right here they saying, dog, unless this man really violates something, you cannot revoke his probation. Mr. Williams can admit to all of the allegations alleged and still not have violated any term of his probationary sentence. Thus, the state's motion to revoke probation is deficient. So Young Thug could say he did everything that he pled guilty to. He can come and do interviews and say, yeah, I did this, I did that, I was involved in this, I was involved in that. He could say all those things, and that still is not a violation of probation. So long story short, stop being petty over there, man. They being petty as hell, trying to rope Thug up. And I do think that everything he put in is going to be considered by Judge Whitaker. She seems to be a very cool lady, and her and Steele does have, somewhat of a, relationship. They're kind of cool. Okay, so once again, after all of that, Judge Whitaker said, get his out my face. He is not going back to jail because you guys are being emotional. Too emotional, all right? But I do believe that Young Thug needs to chill on out. He needed to chill on out with all this social media activity because you see these people have a hard on to send you back into that jailhouse, my boy. You don't need that in your life. We talked about all this before when he was having his situation where he was seemingly antagonizing Gunna. They said that he was hacked. Okay, we'll go ahead and take that. But bro, they want to violate you for any reason. You see, just leave social media alone. Let somebody else run it. Just put your songs out. Give us a vibe. Where's the music, man? Where's the music? Put the songs out. Just vibe out. Love your lady and love your babies and enjoy your life. Enjoy your freedom. all this stuff, bruh. We know what was done to you. We know that you was violated. You don't have to advocate for yourself in this one. People are advocating for you. Leave social media alone. Stay free. Love your lady, love your babies, and all that good shit. But y'all let me know what y'all got to say in the comment section below. I'm going to go ahead and get up out of here, though. This is another update with Stace. Yo.